So David, a 2-0 win against Stalybridge Celtic today. Normally I start off with asking you what your thoughts on the game were, but taking aside the result, just the atmosphere today, the number of people in the ground, how pleasing was it for you to be able to reward the fans with that sort of performance and win?
So it's about rewarding fans, and I've just been in there, and the fans are over the moon. Talking to them, somebody just said to me, even without the goals, even without the win, that how proud they were of the performance. I just thought the lads were superb. They covered every blade of grass, put their bodies on the line, showed heart, desire, passion, commitment, fight. A lot of the things that were lacking on Saturday. I talk a lot about not getting too high in football, not getting too low in football, and Saturday was pretty low, and it was because of what we didn't do and the basics that we didn't get right. And today it's hard not to get too high with a massive fans base like that, huge crowd, really good atmosphere in the place, really good game of football. I thought it was a really good game of football as well. But what the lads showed today was unreal, and we said before the game you owe it to fans, and I think they paid them back for the loyalty and support the fans have shown us so far this season today.
Like you said, a really good game of football. I think first half was a pretty even game, but second half you sort of came into your own, and we seemed to have most of the chances, most of the play. Did you tweak anything at half time? Or?
Yeah, we did. First half, I thought the right back in particular was getting a lot of joy, so we had a couple of really good chances, sort of through balls that we got onto, and a header that the keeper made a really good save from. They had a couple of goal-mouth scrambles, put some really good balls in from wide that I think one Darius side just put over the bar was probably the big chance. At half time, we slightly tweaked how we played to get Reece higher. I thought Reece was getting pegged back a little bit, and Keane was getting a bit isolated. And that change, I thought, made a difference. I thought Reece then stretched the game, asked a lot of questions, caused a lot of problems, allowed us to play further up the pitch, and that made a difference to us. The goal came from that. We got high up the pitch. We worked a little something off the throw in and quality finish from Andy Keogh. But that little tweak, I thought, just made a world of difference.
Just going to that Andy Keogh goal, his birthday today, a full-on club legend already, but you're not going to score many better goals than that in a derby in front of that many fans.
And I don't know how premeditated that was, but we talked about it at half time. We talked about the goalkeeper starting position, and we said he starts high. He's really aggressive keeper. He wants to come and sweep and take things. And I don't know if that was going through his head. Andy had mentioned at half time as well. And as it fell to him, you could just see what he was looking at and the execution. And that's what Andy brings, and it's the reason he started the last couple of games. He brings leadership, he brings quality, and he has that extra little bit of magic sometimes that perhaps Umar just hasn't quite developed yet. And he uses all his experience and nous in those areas. He doesn't score many goals, does he? But he scores special goals.
We've talked about special moments over the years when you've been here. We look back to games like Macclesfield where Bannister scored, albeit not winning, and then Bannister's goal at Marine and the win at Runcorn, well, for the last 2 years. Where does that goal going in and sort of the celebrations after, and the same with Alfie's goal as well, where do they sit in terms of sort of top moments in your time here?
Right up there, from a personal point of view, really high. I felt a lot of pressure going into this game. I think because we were so bad on Saturday, that heights a bit, but it's the first derby game, competitive derby game here for 31 years. You could see fans posting on Facebook and Twitter about how much it meant to them, biggest game of the season, all those kind of things. And I was worried about what Mosley would turn up. Honestly, I don't know which Mosley we're going to get. Is it Bamber Bridge Mosley or the Prescott and Clitheroe Mosley? Going into the game, I was nervous. The nerves kicked in about 7 o'clock yesterday, just after I had the cheese board. And there were some big decisions to make. We could have easily picked different sides based on Saturday. I don't think any player really was guaranteed a start after that. So I felt personally quite a lot of pressure from a personal perspective. That's right up there. And it means a little bit more being Stalybridge as well. He's my hometown team. It's a side I played for and had some success with as a player. And it's kind of quite nice to kind of get one over on them. So it's definitely in the top 3. I'll reflect that it could easily be number 1.
You've mentioned a couple of players in there. It's probably hard to pick out most of the players in terms of performance today because they're all outstanding. But just get your words on Ben Darby. Like, I think his performance overall was outstanding, but that run for the second goal and the setup for a lad his age.
Yeah, we talked about at half time about being the midfielder who probably could burst forward a little bit more and break forward, and he nearly got it down the right hand side a little bit earlier. He's got unbelievable energy. But what was so impressive, yes, the energy, the fitness, the desire to go and make that run at that stage in the game after he's covered every blade of grass. It was the composure then and the maturity to just slow himself down, get his head up and pick a pass. It wasn't just a cross into the middle, it was a pass. It was absolutely on a play for Alfie, and fair play to Alfie, who'd matched the run. It was a good late run into the box for Alfie, but I just think Ben, for a 19-year-old, shows a maturity way beyond his years. I thought you wouldn't believe to see that performance in a derby game that was a 19-year-old. You certainly wouldn't expect that. You would expect that to be sailing over the park end with most 19-year-olds with the adrenaline running through them at that stage and a rush of blood. That level of composure he showed and calmness, I think, will hold him in good stead for a lot of years and see him to a very good career.
And so, last question really for me is, we obviously 1,700 people here today. We've got Trafford for New Year's Day, but for you, how important is it that we get as many of those 1,700 fans back next time against Newcastle Town at home?
Makes a huge difference. I said to the players before the game, we're going to have over 1,000 in today. I thought we'd have maybe 1,200 on. So to have 1765 is phenomenal. And I said, it's up to you what kind of character you are. Are you going to stand up and be counted in that, or are you going to wilt under the pressure of it? And I thought you saw what it meant to the players. They stood up, they gave them that extra drive. And if we can get half of that for a home game, if they like what they saw today, having a beer on the terraces with your mates, with that quality of football and that level of commitment and desire, I think the players will pay it back in spades. And that could be the difference come the end of the season. Fans really do make such a big difference, and the players love it. So if you enjoyed it today, come back, tell your mates, come and watch another game, because it's a good standard of football, and it means a lot to the players to have that kind of support from the town.
Thanks, David, and enjoy tonight.
Cheers, Nathan.